10 years ago, Po returned to the big screen in Kung Fu Panda 3, a film that wasn't just about epic kung fu battles, but about family, identity, and discovering the heroes within. From hidden Easter eggs to jaw dropping animation secrets, this is the ultimate deep dive into the film that brought the heart of Kung Fu to life. Let's uncover everything you might have missed and why, even a decade later, Poe's journey still inspires millions around the world. Hey everyone, welcome back to Popcorn Pistols, the channel where we break down movies from the obvious hits to the hidden gems and give them their rightful spot on the Popcorn Pistols leaderboard. Today we're celebrating Kung Fu Panda 3, a film that brought Poe's journey full circle and introduced a whole new world of pandas, martial arts, and epic battles. At the heart of it all, Poe himself, lovable, hilarious, and surprisingly wise, facing his biggest challenges yet, while discovering what it fully means to be the Dragon Warrior. Before we dive into Kung Fu Panda 3, let's take a step back and see how it fits into the larger story of the trilogy. The first film introduced us to Po, an unlikely hero who dreamed of mastering Kung Fu. It's a story about self discovery and proving that even the most unexpected individuals could rise to greatness. The sequel, Kung Fu Panda 2, expanded the world and explored Poe's past, giving us a deeper look at his identity and the loss that shaped him. But while it dealt with heavy themes, it kept the humour, stunning martial arts sequences, and the heart that made the first film so beloved. Then came Kung Fu Panda 3. The film we're celebrating today. This entry not only brought Poe's story to a satisfying conclusion, but it also introduced us to his biological father, Li Shan, and an entire hidden panda village. Suddenly, Poe's journey wasn't just about becoming the Dragon Warrior, it was about connecting with his roots, understanding his place in the world, and teaching others to embrace their own potential. What makes this film particularly special is how it balances action, comedy, and emotional depth, from teaching pandas kung fu to facing the spirit warrior Kai. The story expands in scale while keeping Poe's heart and humour at the centre, a feat that not every animated sequel manages to pull off. So, how did DreamWorks bring this ambitious vision to life? Let's step behind the scenes, see the production secrets that made Kung Fu Panda 3 such a visual and emotional spectacle. Kung Fu Panda 3 was one of DreamWorks' most ambitious projects. For the first time in the franchise, the studio opened a branch in China, working directly with local artists to ensure cultural authenticity. This wasn't just about landscapes or architecture. The animators studied real martial art movements, Chinese calligraphy, and traditional paintings to capture the look and feel of the world Poe was stepping into. One of the biggest challenges was creating the panda village. Unlike previous films where Poe interacted with other creatures, this time he was surrounded by dozens of pandas, each needing unique personalities, behaviours, and movements. The animators developed a new system to handle groups of characters, giving every panda its own quirks, while maintaining the chaos and comedy that fans love. Another breakthrough came with the spirit realm sequences. These ethereal dreamlike moments require blending traditional 2D painting techniques with cutting edge 3D animation, the result of a visually stunning world that felt mystical, dangerous, and beautiful all at once. Then there's the fight choreography. Every kung fu move in the film was carefully researched. Animators watched martial artists perform, breaking down their movements frame by frame. This attention to detail gave the action sequences an authenticity rarely seen in animated films, making it even the funniest moments feel grounded in real martial arts technique. Of course, none of this would have worked without the incredible voices bringing these characters to life. Let's take a closer look at the cast and what they brought to Poe's epic journey. Kung Fu Panda 3 reunited much of the beloved voice cast from the first two films, but it also added exciting new voices that elevated the story even further. Jack Black returned as Poe, infusing the Dragon Warrior with his signature humour and heart. What's remarkable is that unlike most animated productions where actors record separately, Jack often recorded alongside the other cast members. This created a natural, playful chemistry that really comes through in the final film. Angelina Jolie, Dustin Hoffman, and Lucy Liu all reprised their roles, bringing consistent energy and emotion to Tigress, Shifu, and Viper. Each performance balanced humour with depth, allowing the audience to care about these characters as much as Poe himself. New additions were standout performances from Bryan Cranston, who voiced Li Shan, Poe's long lost biological father. Cranston brought warmth and sincerity to the role, perfectly capturing the mix of fatherly wisdom and comedic awkwardness. And then there's J.K. Simmons as Kai, the spirit warrior antagonist. His deep, commanding voice gave Kai a menacing presence, making him both terrifying and fascinating as a villain who literally consumes chi. The voice actors weren't just reading lines, they were shaping the characters. Improvised moments and collaborative recording sessions allowed the personalities to grow organically. This is part of why Kung Fu Panda 3 doesn't feel like just another animated sequel. It feels alive, full of characters you genuinely want to root for. With these incredible performances bringing the story to life, it was up to animators to match that energy on screen. Let's take a closer look at the stunning animation and visual breakthroughs that made this film so memorable. Kung Fu Panda 3 wasn't just a milestone, it was a technical masterpiece. DreamWorks pushed their animation technology further than ever before to bring Po and the Panda world to life. One of the biggest breakthroughs was the fur and water simulation systems. Animators had to create realistic fur for dozens of pandas, each moving independently yet in harmony. During group sequences, this wasn't just about looking cute, it made the pandas feel alive, with personalities emerging through tiny gestures and movements. Then there's the spirit realm. Unlike the earthy, grounded world of the village, the spirit realm was ethereal and painterly. The filmmakers blended 3D animation with traditional Chinese brushwork techniques, creating sequences that felt mystical, otherworldly, and visually striking. A perfect contrast to the high energy kung fu battles. And speaking of kung fu, every fight scene was meticulous, choreographed. Animators studied real martial art movements frame by frame, translating them into animation that felt both authentic and cinematic. Poe's acrobatic flips and the signature moves all maintained a balance of humour, grace, and intensity. Even the small details mattered, from the flick of the panda's tail to the ripple of water during the battle. Every frame was carefully crafted to immerse audiences in the world. It's this combination of technical innovation and artistic vision that makes Kung Fu Panda 3 a visually stand out, even 10 years later. Of course, visuals wouldn't be complete without the music driving every punch, tumble, and emotional beat. Let's talk about the incredible score that elevated the film's action and heart. A great animated film isn't just about visuals and story, it's also about the music that carries the emotion and energy of every scene. For Kung Fu Panda 3, Hans Zimmer's returned alongside John Powell, creating a score that perfectly balanced action, heart, and humour. The composers blended traditional Chinese instruments like the Aru, Guanak, and the Guzheng with full orchestral arrangements. This gave the film an authentic cultural texture, making the world of Kung Fu Panda feel both epic and deeply rooted in Chinese heritage. Quiet, reflective moments like Po bonding with his father or discovering the panda village were accompanied by gentle melodic themes, highlighting Po's emotional journey. And when it came to action sequences, the score was fast paced, rhythmically precise, making every punch, flip, and tumble feel larger than life. Zimmer described the score as a journey through Po's heart, and it's clear why. The music doesn't just accompany the story, it tells part of it, elevating the film's emotional resonance and keeping audiences fully immersed in the adventure. While the music guides our emotions, the heart of Kung Fu Panda 3 lies in its themes. Identity, family, and embracing one's true self. Let's explore what makes this story so meaningful. Kung Fu Panda 3 isn't just a feast for the eyes. It's a story packed with meaningful themes that resonate with audiences of all ages. At its core, the film is about identity, family, and embracing who you truly are. Poe's journey in this film, beyond fighting villains, it's about connecting with his roots, meeting his biological father Li Shan, discovering the panda village, learning that strength comes not just from skill, but from understanding yourself and your place in the world. This film also emphasizes mentorship and community. Po isn't just the dragon warrior anymore. He becomes a teacher, guiding the pandas to discover their own potential. This highlights that leadership isn't about doing everything yourself, it's about helping others shine. And underlying all of this is the power of unity. When the pandas come together despite their differences, they become stronger as a group than they ever could alone. It's a message about teamwork, family, and the idea that true strength comes from connection, not isolation. These themes combined with humour and action make Kung Fu Panda 3 more than just a fun animated adventure. It's a story that leaves a lasting impression, encouraging audiences to embrace who they are while supporting those around them. And speaking of details you might have missed, Kung Fu Panda 3 is packed with Easter eggs and hidden references. Let's dive into some of the coolest ones. One of the joys of revisiting Kung Fu Panda 3 is spotting all the little details and Easter eggs that the filmmakers packed into every scene. DreamWorks didn't just tell a story, they sprinkled it with hidden nods for attentive fans. For starters, the Spirit Realm sequence, a full, subtle reference to the first two films. Look closely as the murals and the backgrounds, and you'll spot depictions of Poe's early adventures and battles, a visual callback for long-time fans. The Panda Village itself is another treasure trove. Each panda has unique quirks, gestures, and even tiny background jokes that reward careful viewers. Some pandas act out gags from the first two films, while others have completely new personalities, giving the village a lively, lived in feel. And for fans of Chinese culture, the filmmakers incorporate motifs inspired by folklore and traditional art. From the designer Kai's jade armor to the use of specific patterns and colors, there are subtle nods that enrich the world and give it a sense of authenticity beyond just animation. Even the smallest background details, like Poe's favorite dumpling dishes appearing in the scenes or playful references to prior Kung Fu masters, show the care the team put into creating a layered, immersive experience. All of this attention to detail helped Kung Fu Panda 3 resonate with audiences, critics alike. Speaking of which, let's take a look at how the film was received and its impact over the past decade. Upon its release, Kung Fu Panda 3 was met with critical acclaim. Reviewers praised the film for its stunning animation, humour, and heartfelt storytelling. Audiences responded just as enthusiastically, helping the film gross over $521 million worldwide, the highest of the trilogy. Critics highlighted how the film balanced its action-packed kung fu sequences with moments of genuine emotion. The relationships between Poe and his father Li Shan was especially celebrated for adding depth to the story, while the fight choreograph and visual design kept the energy high from start to finish. But the legacy of Kung Fu Panda 3 goes beyond the box office numbers. It solidified Poe as a beloved character in pop culture, inspiring merchandise, theme park attractions, even a Netflix animated series. The film showed that animated sequels could grow their worlds, introduce new characters, and explore meaningful themes without losing the charm that made the originals special. A decade later, fans still revisit the film for its humour, heart, breathtaking animation, whether it's rewatching Poe's Panda training sequences or the epic showdown with Kai. Kung Fu Panda 3 remains a standout in the world of animated cinema. Of course, the true mark of a film's impact is how it connects with its audience. Let's take a look at the fan response and the lasting influence of Poe's journey. The true test of a film's legacy isn't just awards or box office, it's how it connects with fans over the past decade. Kung Fu Panda 3 has inspired an incredible amount of fan love. From stunning fan art to creative cosplay, the characters and story continues to resonate with audiences of all ages. Poe's humour, optimism, and journey towards self-discovery make him a character that fans relate to and cheer for even 10 years later. Fans frequently cite moments like Poe teaching the pandas kung fu, his heartfelt interactions with Li Shan, or his epic showdown with Kai as highlights that stick with them. And with quotes like, "There is no secret ingredient, it's just you," the film delivers messages that are both fun and meaningful. Even today, social media is filled with posts celebrating Pose, the panda, and the unforgettable martial arts sequences, proving that the heart of Kung Fu Panda 3 continues to inspire and entertain new generations. A decade later, and Kung Fu Panda 3 remains a visually stunning and emotionally resonant and endlessly entertaining adventure. Let's wrap up this retrospective with a look back at why this film still holds a special place in our hearts. Now it's time for my review. Kung Fu Panda 3 using the Popcorn Pistols leaderboard. Here's how it scores in each category out of 20. Story, 19 out of 20. Poe's journey is heartfelt, funny, satisfying. The film masterfully balances action, comedy, and emotional beats, giving fans a conclusion that feels earned. Animations and visuals is 20 out of 20. Every frame is a work of art, from the Panda Village to the Spirit Realm. DreamWorks animation is fluid, dynamic, and absolutely stunning. Performances with the voice acting, that's a 19 out of 20. Jack Black and the rest of the cast bring their characters to life in ways that feel natural, hilarious, and emotionally grounded. J.K. Simmons as Kai is practically memorable. Entertainment value, 18 out of 20. It's fun, exciting, and packed with laughs. The action sequences, comedy, and heartwarming moments keep audiences engaged from start to finish. The impact and the legacy of this film gets a 20 out of 20. A decade later, the film still resonates. It's inspired fans, merchandise, and pop culture love worldwide, cementing its place as a standout animated sequel. Adding it all up, Kung Fu Panda 3 scores an impressive 96 out of 100 on the Popcorn Pistols leaderboard. It's the perfect blend of humour, heart, and martial arts mastery. A film that honours its franchise, continues to captivate audiences even 10 years later. With that, our deep dive comes to an end. Let's finish this retrospective with some final thoughts on why Kung Fu Panda 3 remains a must watch classic. And there you have it. A full deep dive into Kung Fu Panda 3, celebrating 10 years of Po, the pandas, and the heart of Kung Fu. From jaw dropping animation to unforgettable voice performances, this film is a masterclass in blending humour, action, and heart. Whether you grew up watching Po stumble through Kung Fu, or you're discovering him for the first time, Kung Fu Panda 3 is a movie that proves animated sequels can be just as meaningful, entertaining, and visually stunning as the originals. If you enjoyed this retrospective, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and comment below your favourite moments or Easter eggs from the film. I'd love to see what part of Poe's journey sticks with you the most. Thanks for watching, and remember, there is no secret ingredient, it's just the magic of great storytelling.